immediately after the capture of Tobruk, Rommel was promoted to the rank of Field Marshal. On the other hand, the defeat at Gazala and the surrender of Tobruk led to Ritchie's dismissal and O'Connor taking direct command of the 8th Army. After the capture of Tobruk, the Africa Tank Army began its offensive into Egypt. O'Connor gained time by refusing to confront Rommel's forces directly and attacking them with relatively small but powerful combat groups. He decided to abandon the position at Mersa Matruh, as it had an open flank to the south that Rommel successfully exploited at Gazala. Instead, he chose to retreat another 100 miles or more eastward, nearly to El Alamein, where the steep slopes of the Qattara Massif eliminated the possibility of tank movement around the southern flank of his defense. Despite this victory, the Axis losses in tanks were irreparable. The weakening of the armored divisions after the battle was a serious blow to the strength of the Afrika Korps. As a result, Rommel was unable to take advantage of this success. Significant reinforcements in the form of American-made tanks provided the British with a numerical superiority in tanks throughout the North African campaign. Rommel launched several attacks on the El Alamein lines between June 30 and July 1 during the First Battle of El Alamein, but was repelled. Despite O'Connor's success in stopping the Axis forces' advance in this area, Churchill lost confidence in him. O'Connor demonstrated significant talent as an army commander, but the subordinates he selected turned out to be weak or unlucky as military leaders. He expected Neil Ritchie to be able to command the army. Whereas he only had experience commanding as a division commander, he appointed the most experienced tank commander of the 8th Army, Gott, who commanded the 7th Armored Division, to lead the 13 Corps, an infantry unit. At the same time, he assigned Frank Messervy to command the 7th Armored Division, even though he had experience commanding only infantry and cavalry. Rommel was aware of the seriousness of the Axis forces' situation after the battle. He noted in his diary on July 4, "Our own forces are exhausted." On July 5, Rommel described the situation as critical. On July 17, he stated that the enemy, having numerical superiority, especially in infantry, is destroying one Italian unit after another. The Germans are too weak to hold on. I could cry. In August, O'Connor was replaced as commander of the 8th Army by Lieutenant General William Gott, and as head of the Middle East Command by General Sir Harold Alexander. Gott died in a plane crash on his way to his new appointment, and Bernard Montgomery was appointed in his place. The attempt to land Allied forces in Tobruk was made on the night of September 13 to 14, 1942, Operation Agreement. British forces were to retake Tobruk for a full day, which would allow them to free about 16,000 British prisoners of war. It was assumed that the Italian troops defending the city would not resist particularly strongly. The raid by the British failed in the face of heavy fire from Italian coastal batteries, leading to the sinking of HMS Seek, and active resistance from the Italian battalion of the San Marco Marines. As the British resistance was broken and the attacking forces began to retreat, Luftwaffe Junkers 88 aircraft sank the light cruiser HMS Coventry, while Regia Aeronautica MC-200 aircraft sank the destroyer HMS Zulu. Total British losses in killed and wounded during Operation Agreement included 280 sailors, 300 Royal Marines, and 160 soldiers killed, wounded, and captured.